Hey, what's going on, everyone? Well, I'm so glad you have took your time to spend with me right here today. I am your co-host for the MRB Wrestling Review Show, Mike McRock Wilson, and last night was NXT from the Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. And, what was really good about NXT last night was the very first match. It was Paige versus Emma. The winner becomes the new NXT Women's Champion. And with that being said, it was England versus Australia, so it's pretty cool to see this match. And really, at the end, everyone won. And the cool thing about the tournament was that it didn't feel like a one-sided tournament now that everyone has got behind Emma. So it was like, this could go either way, you know, a 50-50 split decision. I would have been happy if either women won that match. And at the same time, I'm glad that Paige won because she is the diva, you know, the woman of NXT, and Emma's not too far behind Paige. And so it was pretty good to see that Paige won. And at the end of that match, you saw all the divas come out celebrating her victory, and then Triple H came out and then raised her hand, and you could see on Paige's face that she was really emotional, that she's the very first NXT Women's Champ, and that just goes to show how much hard work she puts in every single night on NXT, as well as her opponent Emma. Emma really held her own, and it was actually at the level of Paige on that match, and what a match it was. This was awesome. The audience loved it. It was a great, excellent match. That match was so good. I thought that was the best match since Trish and Lita main evented Monday Night Raw back in 2003, I think it was. And with that being said, the rest of NXT last night, it was really hard to follow that. And with that being said, the main event was Sheamus versus Luke Harper, where Sheamus won the match. And there was really no need to have that match because last week was the what felt like the write-off match. So I was like, why is this match happening? They could just left it at the losing the tag team championships, but they didn't. But what they should have done was switched the main event to being the first match, and the first match being the last match, because just to build that anticipation and that and just have the match all out exactly the way it was, because that first match, it was just hard to follow, and that was the only thing that kind of fell flat about NXT, was that the rest of the matches on the card after that women's match just didn't do it after following that match. It just didn't follow it. But what also happened on NXT was the debut of Tyler Breeze going one-on-one with Angelo Dawkins, where at the end Tyler Breeze got the victory. It was a alright debut. You know, this guy Tyler Breeze, he's a model. You know, he thinks he's all that and stuff like that, etc., etc. And just taking pictures of himself on his whatever kind of phone it was. It was just way too much. You know, he really overdone it. It was hardly enough wrestling. But, however, you know, the tease factor does play in there, so that was pretty cool. But all in all, it was just an alright debut. And also, Rick Victor and Connor O'Brien, the Ascension, in the tag team match against Mickey Keegan and Aiden English. And we already know that Connor O'Brien asked for his release, which sucks because the Ascension could have, you know, help the tag team division and be like the next team in line to face Corey Graves and Aiden English, but it looks like, that's not going to happen because of his release. So, right now the tag team division is a little hopeless. They really should pick it up. And with that being said, when Kenneth Cameron was with Conor Bryan, the Ascension, that team felt more intense than Rick Victor and Conor Bryan, because they had a stronger, debut. So really, the Ascension just felt like a reboot. It was alright. It's just that they couldn't help the tag team division, and it sucks that Conor Bryan asked for his release. But you know what? Really, well, what can you do? Nothing really. But with all that being said, NXT last night, it was not bad. 7 out of 10. Like I said, the only thing I would have changed was having the first match be the main event, just to build the anticipation. And that match was the match of the night. That was the match. NXT last night was the show for the Divas. And that was my review of NXT from the Full Sail University in Orlando, Florida. I'm your co-host for the MRB Wrestling Review Show, Mike McRock Wilson. Get plenty of rest, and always do your best.